Hello, welcome from my kitchen. I'm cooking dinner because it's been a long week and a long day. Um, I'm going to switch over to my YouTube so I can see who's tuning in and if they have questions. So I'm not really going to be able to see what y'all, anyways, you know what I mean. Let me get on here so I can see chats and see who's tuned in and who's not. I turned it on just a little bit early. Okay. So I'm not really going to be able to see. Let's see. I turned the volume down. Oh, wait. No, I didn't. There we go. Now I turn the volume off so that you don't have to hear what I'm having. But you can type your questions in. Tomorrow we have our test on the reformers. And there were 8 movements we focused on. The first being abolition and the abolitionist. And that is going to be dealing with the slave, the freeing the slaves. I'm making roasted vegetables and broccoli with olive oil and fresh kosher salt and pepper blend. Oops, gotta wash those. Be right back. Spilled some. Anyway, so I may do a little lemon zest on them. Anyway, so my oven's heating up. We're going to do chicken and broccoli for dinner. Abolitionists, main people, Frederick Douglass, runaway slave, had his own newspaper, went and preached a lot, shared stuff. I'm on live air, FYI. I'm on doing my thing while I'm cooking.
Really?
I am. You can come say hi to everybody.
Hi.
We're talking about abolitionists. Do y'all remember what an abolitionist does?
Yeah, you know what an abolitionist
They're
is?
the ones who were fighting for slaves with like to get like the
Freedom of slaves.
yes.
Freeing
that
the
thing.
slaves. Yes, there we
That
go.
thing.
And I was talking about Frederick Douglass, who's a runaway slave. He's one of the active people in it. And he is, don't eat that before you eat dinner.
Darn
No.
Why not?
It'll ruin your dinner. No, don't do that. Just wait. That's dessert. Out
I'm
of it.
just cutting it.
Anyway, so I gotta rinse this off real quick. We have Frederick Douglass. We have William Lloyd Garrison. William Lloyd Garrison is a newspaper, The Liberator. I'm on the air. Keep in mind.
No one's even watching you.
Huh?
No one's even watching you. You'd be surprised.
Yep. Anyway, so there's a lot going on tonight too, but I'm recording it anyway, so they at least have it. So we have William Lloyd Garrison that had the Liberator. Where did my scissors go? Where are my white-handled scissors? There they are. Get out of that. Quit trying to sneak stuff before dinner. Get out of the bread. Don't care. Get out of it. William Lloyd Garrison had the Liberator. I'm trying to think what other. There are a lot of feminists, women's rights activists who help. Okay. I saw him steal the bread. Anyways, so we have the women's rights activists. We have the, and here's the thing. The first thing that really happened is you had the, do you want to participate with me tonight?
No.
Okay, then go in the other room. Thank you. The first thing that, huh? I'm cooking dinner. The other thing that we had is that you have to know is that the Second Great Awakening, which was the spiritual awakening, happened. Those are plants that your grandmother sent me. The Second Great Awakening is a catalyst, which a catalyst is an agent for change. And the Second Great Awakening happened, and that allowed for people to decide they need to come to Jesus kind of thing. We had the Mormons that were born out of that with Joseph Smith, Brigham Young, who took them to Salt Lake City in Utah. But because of the Second Great Awakening, we had the women's movement, the temperance movement, and the abolitionist movement, because there was self-reflection, and it was decided that, hey, slavery's not good. Oh, hey, all this alcohol everybody's been drinking, we're ending up with problems in the workplace. We're ending up with a lot of domestic violence at home, all those things that are going on. So those are the different things that are going on and affecting people. And so these movements are born out of the Second Great Awakening. The original Great Awakening happened in the colonial periods, if you recall. And so when you have the original Great Awakening, there's going to be two of them. You have to know that there were two different time periods. And within that, hang on a second, I'm filleting my chicken breast and butterflying them so that I can beat them and thin them out. The Second Great Awakening is going to cause all these other movements to occur. And I need my lemons right here so I can get them. When we go and we make the after the Second Great Awakening, we're going to have the abolitionist movement. We're going to have the temperance movement, which is alcohol. Lyman Beecher is your person you probably need to recognize with that name. The temperance movement came because we had a high amount of alcohol drinking. Even children were drinking excessively at the time. And then the, trying to think what else. So we had that. It just was a bad time for America. You're going to see that alcohol increase always happens when there's like a revolution or after a war. I'm looking for my mallet so I can beat my chicken. So those are just different things that are good. Oh, there it is. Here we go. There's just different things that you can see happen. Nice. Okay. Good way to take out your frustration and aggression for the evening. Liquor that touches these lips won't touch yours. A lot of women looked into that. They saw that child abuse was happening. They saw that child abuse was happening. They saw that domestic violence was happening. And so you're going to see a pattern in history. After a revolution, after a war, alcoholism tends to go up. After the, hang on, Annie, just a minute. After we're going to have the revolution, after the Industrial Revolution, you'll see a lot of rise in alcohol. And then again, after the Civil War, which is going to, and in the 1900s and the Roaring 20s, we're going to have prohibition, because in the Victorian era, following the Civil War, we're going to have a lot of drinking. And so they're going to feel that they need to. So this pattern is going to repeat itself. And you might see it in modern times now with the technology revolution, that we see rises in different abuse. Like we have a rise in drug abuse. We have that you're going to see that as a trend and a pattern. And so we see legislation happen in response to that. So what we have here is we have the temperance movement in the 1850s. Well, the 1800s to the 1850s. This is going to be connected to the women's movement, because the abolitionist movement, hang on a second, I got to let the dog out. Be nice. No bark. Abolitionist movement's going to happen. And what's going to happen is like Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Lucretia Mott, they're all going to want to be a part of the abolitionist movement. And so then what's going to happen is they're going to be told, hey, you got to be behind the curtain. And so they don't like that. And they say, you know what, maybe we as women are being enslaved as well also. So they're going to go and start fighting for women's rights, which actually won't come to pass until 1920 with the 18th Amendment. So those are just things. It's 18th or 19th. I gotta look that up. So we're going to have those things taking place. So let me check my book here. Then we have the abolition, we have the women's movement. We're going to have the, what else are we going to have? We're going to have the women's movement, abolitionist, temperance movement, cultural, Hudson River School. They are going to paint stuff of the Hudson River. We're going to have the, we'll have the literature. James Fenimore Cooper, Last of the Mohicans, Herman Melville, Moby Dick. There's going to be Washington Irving, who's going to open the doors for people to, he's going to open the doors for people in Americans to be respected in culture. Washington Irving did that. Edgar Allan Poe, Telltale Heart. Y'all read that in 8th grade English a lot. There's going to be Hiawatha is going to be written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, who also wrote The Ride of Paul Revere, which we talked about and listened to when we studied Revolution. Listen, my children, and you will hear the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. So those are just different things that we have available that come with culture. But the big thing with the reform is that there's going to be seen that America will have its own identity within culture, within art, within literature. We have evolved and are accepted within Europe. That is all going back to Washington Irving, who wrote under the pen name Diedrich Knickerbocker, which is where the New York Knicks came from, that kind of thing, or being known as a Knickerbocker, you're from New York. So there's that movement. Then we have Dorothea Dix, who's going to help with the mentally insane and the prison reform. And she's going to go in and say, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't pin these people down. Maybe that we have people who aren't criminals, but they're mentally ill and we need to help them. So those are the different kinds of things that you can put together and know about her. She's a big person. Horace Mann with education, who's going to take us from the one-room schoolhouse and actually provide for women and people to become teachers, to become educated. And we actually have a teachers college. That's going to happen. Labor unions will come about. We're going to have a 8-hour workday. There's going to be collective bargaining is going to be a part of that. Just lots of different things that are going to happen. But the big thing is reform is we want to change how things are. And our big movements that we studied are going to be abolition, women, temperance, Second Great Awakening, education, temperance, abolition, women, culture. Did I hit them all? Culture, abolition, women, education, Great Awakening. There's 2 I'm missing. Temperance, women, abolition. I forgot. See, I'm so tired from this week. Okay. Temperance, abolition, women's, education, culture, my brain's gone blank. Abolition, culture, women, temperance, education, culture, and spiritual. Yeah, I did hit them all. I just keep repeating them to myself. See, I'm not losing my mind. I hope this has been helpful. I know a lot of y'all said you had a lot going on, but I wanted to at least record something and have it there for you. There are a lot of people you have to know. William Lloyd Garrison, he's an abolitionist, had the newspaper The Liberator. Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman. Lyman Beecher's going to be with the temperance. The Grimke sisters, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, Lucretia Mott, all feminist and with the women's movement. Don't forget the Seneca Falls Convention, where all the women came together and modeled after the Declaration of Independence, the Seneca Falls Convention document, and signed it. Transcendentalist. See, I'm transcending now. I knew I was forgetting one. Transcendentalism. We're going to have Ralph Waldo Emerson. We're going to have Henry David Thoreau. Thoreau is Emerson's going to write Walden's Pond. Thoreau. It's all about enlightenment, transcending. They're going to have philosophy. They're going to have self-reliance. That's that whole movement for that. Then those are the people you need to know for that. In culture, Poe, Irving, Fenimore Cooper, Melville wrote Moby Dick. Margaret Belcher will end the Lyceum movement, which is going to be lectures. I didn't put that on there though. Margaret Belcher is going to be a transcendentalist. With the Second Great Awakening, we're going to have the revivals, which are going to be the catalyst for temperance, abolition, and women's movement. Then you have also with the Second Great Awakening, you're going to have the birth of the Mormon Church under Joseph Smith, who will be killed in Ohio, but led west to found Salt Lake City, Utah by Brigham Young, which is now Brigham Young University. Then you're going to have Horace Mann, who's going to be with education. And I think I got everybody. Check your notes. They're in the journals. You've got all those typed up notes that we did. You have your t-shirts. You have some catchphrases, some slogans. Oh, hey, Jonathan. Hey, Bethany. Great. Do y'all have any questions for me while you're on here? Since you joined in the chat. I'm going to beat my chicken a little more. It is a Moeller original. Actually, I use star questions. But yes, that's part of me. It is a Moeller original. There's 30 questions. It's multiple choice. Other questions? All right. If that's it and you don't have any other questions, I'm going to sign off and go pan fry my chicken. I'll check to see. Oh, Dorothea Dix, Prisons and Asylums. Thank you, Bethany, that the prison reform. So yeah, Dorothea Dix, don't forget her. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck. Talk to you later. Let me log off of here the right way now.